I just seen a moment that I've been craving for a very, very long time. I watched Indian women's cricket. I followed Indian women's cricket for well over 40 years now from all those great pioneering players, but I haven't seen a run chase quite to match this ever before. This is, I know there's a final still to be played, but on the evidence of what we've seen so far, this is the greatest night in the history of Indian women's cricket. And Jemima Rodrigues has played an innings that takes us straight into the folklore of Indian cricket. I shudder to think what impact this will have with so many young girls watching it and saying, I want to play like Harma, I want to play like Smriti, and I want to be there at the end when my skill and my faith take me through, like it happened with Jemima Rodrigues. This will be a phenomenal shot in the arm for Indian women's cricket. But what a performance from Jemima Rodrigues. She fought so many obstacles. You could see the fortitude in her. And when she was starting to lose energy, it's not easy. It was a very long innings. You could see how everyone else was rising around her. As I was watching the innings unfold, it was clear in my mind that Jemmy was going to play the strongest supporting role, knock the ball around, one here, two here, and that the power would come from Harman and I thought from Rita Ghosh. I wondered a while when Deepthi came in ahead, but she played a wonderful little cameo. Deepthi and Rita, between them, 50 of 33 balls when Jenny was tiring was such a huge difference. And I absolutely enjoyed watching Harmanpreet. As a lot of you probably know, I'm a huge fan of Harmanpreet Kaur over the years because when she starts to bat, she just makes the game look so easy. She's got shots everywhere. She's powerful. She plays the pull shots. She hits the sixes. She plays delectably behind point. And I thought after those initial few balls, I thought she was controlling the partnership with Jemmy. And my heart, I must confess, sank a little bit when Ash Gardner took that fantastic catch. But wow, Jemmy, you just kept going. And you found a little bit more towards the end. Just those couple of boundaries to take India home. I thought, and I'd said right from the beginning, there's one team that this generational Australian team would be cagey about, and that was India. Just pause a while and see what India have achieved, beating a team that was considered well nigh unbeatable in this tournament. I mean, you look down that list, there's Alyssa Healy, Phoebe Litchfield, Beth Mooney, the legend Elise Perry. Then at 5 and 6, the two best all-rounders in the game in Sutherland and Gardner. Then Talia McGrath coming in at 7, Alana King. It was Kim Garth, Megan Shute, Sophie Molina. This is a generational team. And to beat that team in the biggest run chase in the history of the women's game is quite simply an astonishing achievement. There were a couple of others as well. In the glory of a run chase, sometimes the names get forgotten. Renuka Thakur Singh didn't start the tournament. She didn't take a wicket, but she bowled under 5 and over. And the left-arm spinner that I cannot stop talking about, Sri Charani, bowled magnificently, I thought. And if anything, I think Alyssa Healy was right when she said that when they made 338, they actually left a few behind. When I was following the game, I thought 350. But I thought right towards the end, even that last over, India just kept pulling it back. And then that run chase. What I enjoyed, among many other things, was that India didn't let their shoulders drop after their best batter. Smriti Mandhana got out of that very strained when she was convinced that she hadn't hit it. But you know what? You go with the evidence, and the evidence suggested there was a little something there. I don't think the bowler was too keen. I don't think the wicketkeeper was particularly excited. She went up for it. Sometimes it's just a hunch that I hear something. But in spite of that, India did not let their shoulders drop. And I thought that partnership, Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodrigues, if you haven't watched the game, don't watch the highlights. Just go back and watch that entire partnership to give you an idea of how a run chase is conceived. How with a calm mind, you keep knocking the singles over, keep the wickets in hand, take the game deep. This was not about going and making 80, 90 in the power play. This was about taking it deep, one person hitting 100 and lots of supporting roles behind. And spare a thought for Amanjot Kaur. Started off as the new ball bowler, and suddenly there's a feeling, oops, maybe not quite a 10 overs bowler, which is probably true. But then on the big day, she comes in and gives the captain 8 overs. And then when the game is just a little bit in the balance, it's almost there, a little bit in the balance, she comes in and hits those last 10 runs. And I think there's a very, very high quality all-rounder waiting to be made there. A seam bowling all-rounder who can bat in the top 7. It's fantastic. So well done to Amanjot Kaur. Irony of it all, I thought this was one of the best fielding performances I have seen on the ground. And yet, it was the 2 catches that Australia dropped. I talk very, very often about the 1%. The 2 catches that Australia dropped, for all their skill, is the reason that they are not in the final. So India in the final, I just hope that they take a day off. Don't do anything. Just let it sink in. Let it sink in. Be aware that you've done something dramatic, and then go out into the nets the next day. Let the coaches make their game plans. Let the captain do their game plan, and go out there with no pressure at all, and try and do it in front of a Navi Mumbai crowd that deserves a medal. A full house to watch a women's semi-final. Well done, Navi Mumbai. Well done, India. Well done, Jamie Rodrigues. You know what, Jamie? You're still such a younger. And yet, one day, you'll be much older. You'll be sitting around there, making a warm soup maybe for somebody, maybe coaching the next generation of girls from somewhere. And you'll be saying, you know what, I did it. And they'll look up to you and say, Jenny, you were magnificent that night. So it was a night to remember, the greatest night in the history of Indian women's cricket. On to the final.
So thank you for watching and do subscribe to this channel.